Hi Scorpio, what's up? Welcome to my channel, The Intuitive Teacup. I'm so happy to have you guys here with me today. Welcome back to the subscribers and welcome to the newbies. I'm a little bit late. I was supposed to do your July monthly readings a couple weeks ago, but I was on vacation, guys. I needed it energetically. I'm so good now and I'm so excited to do these readings for you, but I do apologize for my tardiness. We'll see if we can get you some good messages here for the second half of July going into August, all right? Our Scorpio gang. As with all my messages here on YouTube, these are general. That means not everything I say is going to resonate with all the Scorpios out there. So please only take away messages for your best and highest good. You will know intuitively what those are, okay? Feel free to check the Sun, Moon, Rising, and Venus signs of your chart. If you don't know how to do that, there will be a link in the description box below. It'll help you plug in your birth chart so you can figure all that fun information out. If you're into social media, check that out. I am The Intuitive Teacup on Facebook and Instagram. And other than that, we're just going to jump in for Scorpio messages for their best and highest good, July into August, roughly, right? Energy is free-flowing. There's no fixed start or stop date, but let's see what we can get for Scorpio. And in that description box below, we'll tell you what decks I'm using here today. I have a bunch of new decks, and I am so excited to share them with you. All right, so let's hop in. Scorpio, individuality is your first card that came up. And the 4 and the 7 comes to an 11. 11 is usually the card of justice. So some of you may have Libra in your chart. But it has to do with knowing your truth. Being true to yourself, individuality, letting like your sun and your sparkle out, your there's something about your unique soul, letting your heart sing. It's being clarified by the 9 of Cups. Okay, so in this deck it's called the 9 of Dragonflies, the wish fulfillment card. So Cancer got this card as well. I just did them before you. Might be dealing with a Cancer. And interestingly enough, their message was actually similar. It was, in short, it had to do with not conforming to other people's standards, to meeting other people's expectations and being true to oneself, which is sort of what I'm getting here for you guys too. Individuality, the freedom to follow your own heart, to follow your own dreams, right? To go after what makes your heart sing. And there may be something very unique or different about it that maybe, I want to say some people find shocking or controversial or just not status quo, like breaking away from the mainstream. It's very cool energy. It's kind of rebellious and punk rock. I like that. Also being clarified by the 2 of Swords. Okay. So this is another Libra card, and it does talk about making a decision, right? You have 2 swords, and the answer comes from within, right? She has her blindfold on, and that moon represents using our intuition to go within and seek out the answers. Sorry, Scorpio, my camera froze. So with this 2 of Swords, an avoidance potentially to make a decision, but I'm also sensing that there's a lot of emotion around here. Around this topic or this idea of following your passion, your desire, or going after something or someone in your life that it breaks away from the mainstream. Maybe you're in love with someone who is just really different. Maybe they have a different religious background or ethnicity, or they come from a different, like, I want to say class. Like, you know, maybe they make a lot more money, or do you know what I mean? There's something different from the status quo, if you will. And so perhaps some of you are making a decision whether or not you want to pursue it or go after it. And it's being clarified by instinct. Yeah. So again, with this moon imagery, and it very much reminds me of the tarot card, or I'm sorry, the Rider-Waite tarot, the moon, right? It's shown with those 2 wolves looking up and like howling, right? Double moon imagery here. It's about following your intuition and your instincts. Things that you're driven to, and you may not necessarily know why, but again, it's something about your being drawn to the fire. And it's a feeling, though. It's not necessarily like a a recognition that happens. I want to be careful how I phrase this. It's not visual recognition. I don't know if that's going to land for anyone, but it has to do with the internal. Your heart knows it to be true, or yeah, your heart knows it to be true. And by denying yourself the opportunity of going after this wish or this dream or desire, it's causing very unsteady emotions in you, Scorpio. I'm just getting rocky waves, like waves crashing against the rocks. It's like, I'm just getting you're sort of about to burst because there's something inside of you that knows that you're supposed to chase after this. It's like these dogs, these wolves are being led almost like they smell the scent. And it's like, you know you're supposed to go here, but what's stopping you? Is someone telling you you shouldn't? Are you telling yourself that you can't, that you're not strong enough, that you don't deserve it, that you don't make enough money, you know, whatever it is. The swords do have to do with our beliefs and our thoughts. So it's almost like your thoughts are blocking you. Interesting. So we also have the card of strength, okay? And that is being clarified by, sometimes, this is not a tarot deck, this is an oracle deck, but strength is number 8 in the traditional tarot deck, which is the card of Leo. Some of you may have strong Leo in your chart. Being clarified by the Page of Swords. So it's the Page of Bees in this deck. How great is this deck? It's so cool. It kind of matches my curtains, right? In the back. Anyway. All right, so Page of Swords. The seeker of knowledge. But it's a younger version. Sometimes it's like the child, if you will, of these court cards. So if you're seeking to gain new information or knowledge or studying, you haven't been at it for that long. It's something that's relatively new. So if this is a person you're pursuing, I don't even know if you've necessarily been on a date with them, but you may be looking up like their social media accounts or maybe chatting casually with them like via text, or if it's a person, right? If not, if it's a job, it may be something, it may be a career that you've never really done much in. Maybe you took a class in college and really enjoyed it, and now you're looking to maybe take more classes, or it's just a passion you've always had, but you haven't really gone after it. It may have to do with writing, some of you, or something artistic. Let's see what else we can get here. And it may have to do with going back to your roots, whatever that means for some of you. So again, it could be something from the past coming up that, again, you've dabbled with, or you don't potentially have a lot of experience in it, but again, it's like it's your soul's calling or your instinct to go after this. Being clarified by the Empress. So for some of you, this is starting a family. Absolutely. The idea of roots, of starting a family and having children, right? The Empress is always shown pregnant. It's Taurus and more Libra energy here, actually. So some of you may have very strong Libra in your chart. You may be a Libra Scorpio cusper. But yeah, the Empress is the mother card. She's Mother Nature. She's very kind and, you know, rules over her kingdom, very fair. And she naturally just draws light. She naturally draws attention. I want to say even turns heads for some of you Scorpios. Yeah, and some of you maybe even be reading up on like pregnancy or that, like what to expect when you're expecting, that type of thing. Yeah, what's very interesting is that this kind of came up in Cancer's reading too a little bit. Some of you want to start a family, or you want to explore motherhood or fatherhood, right? But it might be that the person you're with currently, that might not be their ultimate goal or desire. And so that might be the decision for some of you. It's like, I want to be a mother or father no matter what. So this could be a decision of, this is my truth, but I just want to say, am I not compensating? Essentially, are you giving up on your desires because of another person? And the thing is, I don't think most of you are going to, but it does require coming to sort of some conclusion here. And if it's not pregnancy or starting a family, it's the creation of something, right? So again, it could be something artistic, writing and yeah, like painting came up here for some of you. It could be a new home. Yeah, it could be moving and like settling, like starting roots somewhere else in the country or overseas or somewhere you've always wanted to live or wanted to work, right? If it is work related for a lot of you, again, it's more of like an artistic or some sort of like nurturing type of career, like a teacher or a nurse or even somebody who does like event planning or like functions, like hosting type of like events and parties. It could be something like that. Confusion. Okay. So yeah, I mean, that's essentially what this is. It's a deciding factor. So for some of you, it's coming through more as confusion on which way to go, which way to turn. You may be getting outside opinions or ideas, and I'm not certain how helpful they are. It feels like this person metaphorically is whispering in your ear, like, no, come this way, Scorpio, do it this way, you have to do it this, or you can't do that. And this person does not look very happy about it. That's you, right? So for a lot of you, I don't think you want to be told what to do here, because I think, and rightfully so, by the way, you are strong in your convictions of what your unique, potentially, wish fulfillment is, your unique path, that ultimately, like, kind of the destination you're headed towards. But it's almost like you need to assess who or what you want in your life, and is that impeding your ability to go after what your heart is calling you to do, and ultimately what you want to create in this world, in this lifetime, right? So the next card you have is High Priestess of Earth. Okay. Sorry. So we know Earth signs are Taurus, Virgo, Capricorn. You do have a little bit of Taurus energy here as well. And there's something very earthy about this too, following your instincts and the idea of roots in the earth, this strength, this tree, this idea that you want to create. It may not, I said this to Cancer too, it doesn't show up as $1 million on your front door, whatever this dream thing is that you want. It shows up in tiny pieces. So the pentacles, right? Pentacles, seeds grow in to a tree, acorns to a tree, right? This has to do with following your intuition. Again, for a lot of you, on either a physical home of where you want to have roots in terms of like your neighborhood, your community, your literally your home, right? For others of you, it does have to do with starting a family. And yeah, there is some sort of compromise that I think you've been making that I think a lot of you are really starting to question. And for, again, some of you, it might be choosing to leave somebody who doesn't want the same things that you want in life. Or it could be choosing one if you have multiple options, dropping one of the swords. If you're you might be dealing with 2 air signs, Gemini, Libra, Aquarius. So the High Priestess of Earth is being clarified by the 5 of Cups, okay? In this deck, it's the 5 of Dragonflies. Again, the compromise. I'm just looking at her face, it's like a sobering decision. It's not an easy decision that she has to make here. There's confusion about it, right? The 5 of Cups is sometimes, it can sometimes be the woe is me card, and I don't mean that in a shady way, but it's like you're so focused on the past disappointments of things that didn't come to fruition, of spilled cups, right? You're never going to get the water back they've spilled. But the ultimate message of the 5 of Cups is that if you were to release the sadness, the depression, the disappointment, and like reassess the environment, look around, do a 180, like physically, change your focus, change your perspective, maybe move homes, move jobs, whatever, change people in your life. There's more happiness to be had. There are more cups that are upright, that are full to the brim with, we know water, right? Love, emotion, happiness, right? Your element, Scorpio. I'm just getting there's other people and opportunities that are even better than what's in your life now. But it's like taking the first step towards that is the scariest part. It's leaving the familiar behind. And yeah, there is something to do with a broken heart here. Some of you, it's like you've had to stitch. I'm just getting like you've had to like stitch your heart back together and mend it time after time after time. And I think a lot of you are exhausted. And if it is with the same person, that might be what this decision is about. It's like assessing what actual good is this person, or again, the situation, the job, what good are they actually bringing to my life, and are they in alignment with my ultimate goals and dreams and wishes? Yeah, judgment. So a rebirth. This is you, Scorpio. You get a second chance at... I said this to Cancer too, very similar. You guys should watch the Cancer video. You get a second chance at life with this. I always joke, this is Rocky Balboa running up the staircase, right? Victorious, running up bathed in light, because there's a lot of dark, shadowy energy here, right? Some of you, again, this is very specific, some of you who didn't think you could get pregnant, you might. It's still possible here. This is second chances. Judgment is a rebirth. Things we thought we had reconciled in the past, they come back up for a purpose, usually to learn a final lesson. It's almost like the assessment, or I think I'm trying to say like the synthesis of things we've been through. It's wrapping things up in a neat little bow so that you can finally like leave them off, like push them off into the water so they can sail off, and I don't want to say you don't have to deal with them because you've dealt with them, but it's making it right. And this, I do see this as a card of Scorpio. It's Pluto, but yeah, it's like coming back into your power, Scorpio. Going back to, again, maybe childhood or something you did in college or grade school that you were always interested in. It's like, it's something about picking back up the key, running up the steps, and opening this whole new door to a future that you never thought possible, or you never thought tangible, or again, possibly didn't think you deserved. But again, what is causing this confusion? What is causing this confusion of picking up the key and unlocking new doors? Because I can hear some of you are saying, like, it's just not possible. I can't do that. It's not that easy. Okay, cool. But why isn't it that easy? How do we get to the point where we can pick up the key and unlock a new door, right? It's about assessing your current situation and ruling out what isn't contributing to your ultimate dream or your wish of what you want your life to be, of what you want it to feel like, Scorpio, right? You're a water sign. Emotions, you need to feel good. You need to feel safe, right? You need to feel like you're surrounded by people who match your energy and who love you. And I don't think that all of you are feeling that way. I keep getting these very specific messages. Some of you, not all of you, think that having a child is going to help fix a relationship. And I would just be very careful about that. That's not really my territory here, but I would just say I would really assess the partner you're with or thinking about having children with, because having a baby isn't necessarily going to fix a toxic relationship. Just for consideration there, okay? Aw, the last card is bittersweet. Yeah, okay, so again, this is coming through as saying goodbye to a partner for a lot of you. And if it wasn't a toxic relationship, and for most of you, I don't think it is toxic. It's more that your paths just aren't going down the same road anymore. It was more of like a karmic friendship or person. It's like your paths collided for a reason. You both learned something and gained something from your experiences together. But yeah, it's almost like there's a splitting apart. There's a severing of ways. And so the saying goodbye is bittersweet. Some of you might be leaving a job. You may be leaving coworkers that you love, but it's like the job was never emotionally satisfying to you. You felt like you were wasting away at this job that you never wanted. But there's some aspect of it, which again, the confusion, but following your instinct, that is hard for you to break away, for you to make that final decision of, okay, I'm severing this, I'm cutting this, I'm moving on, I'm gonna have the baby, you know what I mean? Ooh, that might be for some of you too. But again, what you're not realizing, it's almost like you're seeing the glass as half empty right now, Scorpio. Choosing this new path, picking up this new key, eventually you're going to get to that doorway that opens up a whole new possibility. And like, again, that's what the Five of Cups is. It's turning around to realize, oh, look at these other cups that were there in front of me the whole time. I just didn't see them because I was so focused on the past. I was so focused on the negative. I was so stuck in my old ways or old habits or old routines that I wasn't even opening my mind up to the possibilities of what could be, of letting things in, of having faith that things are going to come in the future. Again, how we were saying, it's not going to happen instantly. Your dream home isn't just going to appear before you. You may have to do some renovations, or you know what I mean? There's work involved here, and it's going to take a lot of strength, right? We know this. It's going to take strength to potentially leave an old situation and follow your path. And I'm just getting, for some of you, it is going off on your own individually. There's sort of like a hermit energy here. And again, use your best judgment, only take away what resonates. But for some of you, it is for your higher good, for you to leave the familiar and go off after new things that are going to bring you happiness and joy. Don't settle. I think that's what this bittersweet is saying. There's a temptation to stay in the familiar with the person that you do love, but they're not ultimately allowing you to grow and follow your heart. Yes, it's bittersweet, but don't settle, Scorpio. Okay? That's your message here. All right, guys. I hope that was helpful. If you did enjoy it, please do like, share, subscribe. Thank you for tuning in, and I will see you next time. Bye, guys.